Hello, welcome to Photoshop Quicklabs. In today's video, we will be taking a look at the first of our selection tools, which is the Marquee Tool. We will be using Adobe Photoshop CC 2025 for this video. We will also be in Workspace Essentials default. I have already reset my tool, but if you need to, all you have to do is drop down next to the tool, go to the gear, and then hit Reset Tool. This will reset your menu to the default parameters. So in order to make a selection, I would first take a look at the first icons in my menu. The first one is going to be to make a new selection. And then the second one is add to selection, subtract from selection, or intersect with selection. So if I click, hold, and drag out, it is going to make a selection for me. And this is the rectangular marquee tool, so I am getting a rectangle. And then if I hover in the center, I can actually move that selection around. Now if I click, hold, and drag out again, because I am still on the new selection, it is going to delete my old selection and create a whole new selection for me. If I want to add to the selection, then what I need to do is use my add to selection, and there you see I get the plus out under the crosshairs, and I can drag out as well. And then if I want to subtract, I can do the subtract, and I can drag out from wherever I need to delete from my selection. I can also do the intersect, and that is just going to grab everything that I grab in that selection. And that is how I would start to make my selections. Now, the other function that you can do is you can feather your selection. So if I want to do that, I need to make sure that I put in my feather before I make the selection. So I'm going to put in a feather of 150 pixels, and then I'm going to click, hold, and drag out. And as you can see, my edges are rounded, and you're not really seeing the feathering, but if I delete these pixels so I can see the layer below, I am going to see that feathering. So there you can see that the selection was actually feathered. Now I am going to undo that, and I'm going to take away my selection. And then if we want to make selections in an elliptical fashion, meaning we create ovals and we create circles, then you would have to come to the tool and fly out the menu to get to the elliptical marquee tool. And the same features apply for that. So we can click, hold, and drag out. We can move it around. We can click and hold Option to subtract from our selection, or we can click and hold Shift to add to that selection. And then if we want to feather our selection, we would put in our feather first and then drag our selection out. And as you can see, even though I made a really big oval, it looks a lot smaller because of the feathering. So now if I delete those pixels, you will see how feathered that is. The last feature is the select and mask feature, but we will be covering that in a later video in depth. I will see you next time.